What is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Plays, and today I am here with a brand new hardcore Nuzlocke video of a new Pokemon Rom Hack that I wanted to play, Pokemon Fused Dimensions. First off, before I continue with the video, let me explain what a Nuzlocke is. A Nuzlocke is a challenge where if a Pokemon faints, it dies. You can only catch one Pokemon from each route, and you have to nickname all of your Pokemon. This is what a basic Nuzlocke is. However, a hardcore Nuzlocke has two extra additional rules. You have to play in set mode, meaning that you can't, the switch and do you want to switch your Pokemon box that usually appears? Yeah, that won't appear. And healing items are banned. You can use health items, but uh, healing items are absolutely banned except for Pokeballs. And yeah, that's basically the game. So without further interruptions, let's get to the video. I had three options. One of them being a Bulbasaur, which is a Bulbasaur Zygarde fusion, a Squirtle, a Squirtle Aeron fusion. Oh my god, that thing looks hideous. A Ralts Charmander fusion. I chose Bulbasaur because it looks cool, and I named it Humdara. It was a cool dragon name I found on the internet. My imagination is very limited. The route battle was pretty easy, and I was, just walking around the grass, and I saw this thing. A Bungella. You need help. Seriously. Go get it, dude. My guy, get help. I got my first encounter, which was a Lillipup, and a Cleffa fusion. And I named it Pixie. And then remember the old man who shows us how to catch a Pokemon? Yeah, that man catches this thing. Dear God, old man, you are powerful, sir. Very much so. And from the next route, the Royal Battle one, I got an Electron, which looked very cool. I named it Savitar, after the Flash character, and then this happened. Okay. This is unexpected. Uh, just how? Okay, you know what? Shiny Calls is active, so yep, I'm catching this thing. I got the thing and I named it Savitar 2.0 because, or I just renamed it Savitar because just in case my first Electron dies, I could just use it. Though I did make a mistake and I accidentally may have just reset the game and I lost my shiny Electron. So yeah. So I dealt with the rival battle very easily, and here's where I have to talk about an important thing. I realized that in this game, shiny odds have been increased. So I decided to make a specific rule, that being, if I get a first encounter shiny Pokemon, I am allowed to capture it. But if in a route, I revisit a route and I encounter a shiny Pokemon, I'm not allowed to capture it because apparently the also like the shiny odds are like somewhere around 1 in 400 or 1 in 1000. I don't know. It's very easy to catch a shiny Pokemon in this game, so I decided to make that rule. From the next route, I got a Bungella, which I decided to name Vine. And in Meridian Forest, unfortunately, I lost my encounter, which was a Weedabra. I don't know, but it was an Abra Weedle fusion, and it teleported away, so that was bad luck. And then I easily passed through Meridian Forest, and next was Gym Leader Brock, and this was one of the more easier gyms. He was not much of a challenge. All I had to do was set up a few growths with Humdra, and he had a few cool fusions like an Onyx Solosis fusion, a Litwick Geodude fusion, and a Honed Geodude fusion. The Honed Geodude one was my favorite, by the way. But they were not much of a challenge. I set up a few growths with my Bulbasaur or Bulbcore, and then they did survive due to sturdy, but they're taking care of easily. Pretty easy gym. Right before Mount Moon, I got an Ixorel, which was very adorable looking. By the way, it is a shiny. I named it Buffy. Then, from the Pokemon Center, I got the most horrendous monstrosity ever instead of the Magikarp I'm supposed to get. Oh my god, what is that thing? Dear god, kill it. Kill it with fire. I then got a Rock and Roller Matcha fusion from Mount Moon, which looked cool, and I named it Elfman, which is a reference from Fairy Tail anime, by the way, if you guys did not know. And my Bulbcore, aka Humdra, also evolved into an amazing Ivy Guard, which I was super excited for. And then my next encounter just with the Cerulean City was at Pancham Ekans fusion. I named it Poe. If you guys don't know who Poe is, it's a reference to Kung Fu Panda, and I love it. And my Electran also evolved into a Maniac Crino. It looked super cool. Pixie then evolved into its next form, which is her Fury, which looked pretty cute and pretty cool as well. And next was Misty, who is an absolute pushover. Let me be honest, she was the easiest gym of the entire run. Except she has this scary, weird fusion. Like, what is this? A far-fetched Aracuda fusion? Who decided this was a good idea? Who decided? Huh? The Ralval, as usual, was a pushover like always, but do not underestimate his raw matter. It will become a very scary with rats. You'll see why. I also got a side chat I named Rat Duck. I got this thing. I named it Abomination. Don't care if it's or not. And then got a Miawa from the route down to Syrian City. Looks pretty sick. I named it Miawa. And also, the most annoying thing about this game was that during the game there are like millions of dupe clauses. I counted so many dupes. I didn't even get a new Pokemon at all. Eventually, I got an old rod from Vermilion City and fished up on the pond, getting a Dwebble Shelter Fusion named Dweber. I named it Hermit. Then I got a Dignia from Diglets Cave, which I named Cacklepod. Sounds pretty cool, right? Yeah. And the route next to Vermilion, I got a Volita, which I named Urushep, since it's a unicorn but a sheep. How does that sound? The rival this time around is where things get scary. This Charmeleon was the most scary thing I've ever faced because Fire Stab and Psychic Stab with Fairy coverage was a destructive force that could lay waste to many teams. I was scared and my fears would soon be confirmed. Next up was Surge, and he was the most stressful gym ever. The most stressful. Partly because of two Pokemon. His first two Pokemon, Simkit and Manecreator, were no problems, except for the fact Manecreator poisoned Cacopod, and here is where I realized I need a fire type badly. Because, dear God, I will die without it. His two aces, Ray Lossem and Ray Poo, would have ended me if I did not have Hunter, the Grass Dragon Ivy God. Oh my God, the typing absolutely walls all of their wounds because despite being paralyzed, Hamdara the Legend flipping hit the Pokemon at the crucial moments, making this a win. Oh my God, I was sweating like fuck. I thought I was gonna lose then and there. In the power plant area, I got a bold Ruby, which I named Terry, and during the editing is when I realized I forgot an encounter. Like right next to the patch of grass in Cerulean City, I forgot an encounter, so whoopsie. And in Rock Tunnel, I got a Rock Rug I named White Guy in Naruto reference. Most of you who should know this. And then the route after Lavender Town, I got a Laronite, a Venonat Lord Vesta combo, which got me super excited because I wanted a fire type so badly because I could not deal with grass types currently. I needed something against them, and I got a Laronite, and I got one out of pure luck, so I was super happy. I named it Batra after the giant bat mutt thing from Monsterverse. You know, the Godzilla movies, that one. And then the EV that is usually, building is really replaced by a Marowak Shedinja fusion, which is a fire ghost with Wonder God. Yeah, that happened. That's so broken, my God. And then the route left to Celadon City, I got a shiny Abdu and Absol Doduo fusion, which in my is a contender for my favorite fusion because it looked so cool in its final form. I really love that head side thing it has going on, and I named it an appropriate name, which is Calamity. Then it was Giovanni who I took care of without much trouble. He was a pushover. And next was Erica, the grass type gym leader. And here I led off with my Laronat, Pashra, who took care of a Lilithtails and Alola Ninetales Lilican fusion, which was beautiful and awesome at the same time. If you thought that Alola Ninetales couldn't get better, then you were wrong. She then had a Duck Turn, the evolution of of Cacopod, which Badger took care of. And next was this thing. Yeah, if you thought Jinx couldn't get scarier, boy, were you and I wrong. I decided to add Rockrogue to the team, which then evolved into a Lightning Tang. And yes, I accidentally forgot to include Rock and Stuff evolving into a Bolt Choke. I'm so sorry about that, but yeah, he did evolve, Elfman evolved. And remember when I said Charmeleon was very scary? Yeah, here's why. So, I went to Lavender Tower and got into the rival battle, and things were going pretty smoothly except when his Charmeleon came out. So I brought Elfman out, and after a few exchanges, it got a hypnosis off, and with a heavy heart, I decided to take Bochoke of the team. I regret it, but there was no option. Cornelia hit my team way too hard, and my most strongest member, aka my Ivy God, was a weak to the thing, so I had no option but I had to sacrifice Boltok off so I could easily switch into Lycan Fan. And then my utter stupidity, You told me to use a fucking sucker punch, forgetting the fact it would use hypnosis, allowing it to put down my poor liking chat to sleep, and eventually I sacked it off with a heavy heart as well. I regretted it, but I had no other option, and then is when I realized I had calamity. I had calamity. My abdul put out outspent and knocked out that damn thing with the black glasses boosted knockoff. But you know why I didn't do that? Because I was too damn scared of the fairy move. My own fear, my incompetence, and my idiocy cost me two valuable members. I'm so sorry, Elfman, my guy. Very sorry. Eventually, I got over the sadness and I got a Dusk God, a Dusk called Porygon Fusion from Lavender, which by the way is very good. I named it Dawn. Using Thief, the Dusk God encounters usually have a link cable, so I used it to evolve Duskgon into a Duskgon 2. And then Calamity also evolved into his final form Abrio, which, as I said before, looks super badass. It looks so cool. And I did get the Mega Ring from Mr. Fuji after saving him. Then I got a Rockview named Starboy from Cyclic Road, and I also got a Golbaria near Fusion City's grass with a Bloodkeeper. Remember that? Yeah, and I did with Big Mouth. And from the Safari Zone, I ironically got a Rolkmander, the one thing that is being the bane of my existence and is literally haunting me in my nightmares. I named it Suave. Hunter also finally evolved into its final form, Venagard, which looked epic and is definitely my favorite fusion of this game. Metacrete also evolved into Maiden King, which was one of the best fusions in the game, again a contender, and then Dawn also evolved into Dust Donzi, which is unique in its own way. I also got a Mia Fighter from the Good Rod Fishing Dudes, back in the house, and I also got a Super Rod, and from one of the fishing routes, I got an encounter which was a Ghastly Froakie fusion. I was excited how it looked like as it evolved, and Hornguard here, its second form, did not disappoint. And oh my god, the Gengar Greninja fusion looked epic as fuck. My lord, it looks so cool. PSI also had to catch a lot of Bulbacores from the Safari Zone because apparently they hold the Megastone of Venagard, but don't worry, I'll release them later. Probably may or may not have been the reason for infestation of Bulbacores in the Kanto region, but hey, if it works, it works. But I must say, just look at Mega Venagard stats. This thing has more base stats than Open Arceus. Yes, I am not joking. It is buffer than literal God, having a base stat of 733 plus. That's what the actual Excel sheet for this game that shows the base stats of all Pokemon set. It said it has 733 plus a base stat total. Oh my god. Next up was Koga, and he was not much of a challenge at all. This is what happened. He sent out. I first sent out Dawn to take care of his Timeko Weezing fusion, who got one shot from a Shadow Ball, and then came out as a Muck Beebrill fusion, who did more damage than I would have liked. So I brought Kuma and my Greninja. Oh yeah, by the way, I named Yasuki Kuma, and I knocked out with Muckrell and his Weezconda. He then brought out an Appleton Galar Slowking fusion. Thinking it was a grass poison, I brought Calamity, but to my surprise, it wasn't. It was a dragon poison type. But Calamity took care of it anyway, making me the winner. He was a pushover. Then I go to the power fight. Again, I got a Pumpkin, which I named a Powerhouse. And the static electric encounters turned out to be a Groton set, a Grotle Magneton fusion, which I named Magnet. And next up was the Silph rival fight, and it was smooth, but I took my chance when Sylvanas came out and brought Calamity and set up its newly learned sword stand to sweep the man, and it was an utter massacre for sure. It brought satisfaction to my face seeing the one who killed my poor elfman and Lycanchan, quivering in fear as I railed hell upon their distraught, pitiful faces. Dear God, that went way too dark. And the Giovanni fight was a pushover at best. It didn't bother me too much. Hunter and his mega form sweat pretty easily. And finally, Bashra evolved into a Pokemon which looked sick as hell, so cool. And here is where I have to talk about the level caps during the Sabrina fight. When I remember Koga's highest level Pokemon being 43? Yeah, guess what? Sabrina has the same level. I don't understand why. Why did they not increase the level by like one or two? I mean, you fight so many trainers in Silph Go and get experience, and there are like millions of trainers like literally to the right of Fusion City. Like, come on! And this is the reason why I did not fight the extra trainers because I wanted to stay close to the level 45 at best. But yeah, Sabrina was easy. Dawn swept most of the team. I'm not gonna delve into how Dawn swept. I should not bore you guys saying things like, oh, he used Shadow Ball and Psychic and then Thunder Ball, blah blah blah, things like that. If your Dawn's gone, Sabrina is a breeze. Next was Blade and yeah, just see the montage.
Gas, gas, gas. I'm gonna step on the gas and be a lover.
Yep. Continuing, I got the fiery dance for I got fiery dance for Pokemon from Moving Runner. Yes, I did the island quest because I had to. I got two tiny mushrooms from a Shrewrus, a Paris Shroom Fusion from the route where I forgot my encounter from using Thief. So happy days. And then I went to Mount Amber and I got a Bulmar named Magma Snow, a Abama Snow Magmar Fusion, and a Ninetales named Kiwi, which is a nine-tailed Zoro Fusion, a very cool one. And finally was Geobody, and again, it was a pushover at best. My team was too good. Batra set up equipment to knock out his first two Pokemon, and then when his Meta Slash came out, I switched to Kuma, who knocked it out with a Surf, and Hundra finished the rest. Easy claps, boys. Next up was the final rival fight before the league, and here is where the biggest tragedy occurred. Savitar, my main king, was sweeping most of my rival's team until this thing appeared. Gemsakot the Jinx, Whimsicott Fusion, the monster that I thought was grass ice type was a grass psychic type, and I forgot. I made a foolish mistake and stayed in. And Savitar was one shot by a psychic. I raged up for a few minutes because of this. Savitar was special to me since it was one of my team members for the longest. It stayed alive for so long. And he was dead now. On pure rage and for avenging Savitar, Batra set up with a quiver and swept him to the ground. And I promised I will win and get my revenge for Savitar. I added a new member, that being Powerhouse, the third boss, aka the evolved form of the Timkin, and I evolved him into his final form, Conkeldurr, which looked really badass. I used Thief with Dawn and got held items for all my Pokemon, and now I was ready for the Pokemon League. First up was Lorelei, and she leads off with a Mr. Race, a Cinderace, and Mr. Rhyme fusion. It goes for a Tita Dance and confuses my Conkeldurr, but Powerhouse breaks through the Tita Dance confusion and Okos it with a hammer up. Next was a Snortic, which I was absolutely terrified of. It brought my Conkeldurr to yellow health, but Conkeldurr broke the confusion and Oko the Snortic. And next was a Glabro, which immediately Mega Evolved, and I sent out Volcamon. And I went for a Fire Dance, but I didn't know it was a Water Ice type, and started setting up a bunch of curses, and I was terrified. Thankfully, I got my shit together and go for a special attacking Giga Drain, which was boosted by the Fire Dance special attack boost, and KO'd it. Then the Sablash came out, and I OKO'd it with the Fire Dance. And last was the Frost King, which was a 2-hit KO with Volcamon's Fire Dance. Easy claps. Next up was Bruno, and just see battle. Bruno led off with Brelsec, the Shrewdest final form, which Dawn OKO'd with a single psychic. And next up was his Lightning Chan, and I missed my Will-O-Wisp, and it got 2 crunches off, and it did more damage than I would have liked, and my psychic didn't even KO it. So eventually I switched into Hundra, who Mega Evolved and OKO'd it with 1 Petal Dance. Next up was Aeromitable, and its Ice Punch did more damage than I would have liked. Now, on screen, it looks like it didn't do much, but when you go to the Pokemon selection menu, you see half of Hundra's health is gone. So, pretty bad. Next up was Next, I switched into Conkeldurr, who was dynamic punch in the face and got confused. So eventually, I switched into Kuma, who, after taking a big hit from Stone Edge, took it down with 2 serves, along with the incoming Bolt Show. And next was Galazard, a Gallade Charizard fusion, who evolved into its Mega Pump. And here I went for Psychic, but it survived and poked out Kuma, giving me my 4th death. Oh God, this hurt me bad. I sent out Calamity, and Bruno healed, and I went for a knockoff and fly combo to take out the Galazad. Now I was scared. I lost a precious member, and this E4 was going to devour me alive. The next Elite Four member was Agatha, who ironically was the easiest of them all, even though Radical Red gives me the most trouble, and she sent out her Duskon too, and I sent out my Duskon Z Dawn. and set up a little bit. And after exchanging a few hits, I decided it was time for the sweep. I switched into Calamity, set up a small set, and Naka swept her whole team. It was satisfying watching her entire face crumble into despair. After after I just set up a sword set, Naka sweeping was so satisfying. The massacre was amazing after what I experienced from the hands of that brute, not by the name of Bruno. Final battle with Agatha. It was time for Lance, the final Elite Four member, and here I, well, just see. He leads off with a Hunt Tutor, and I said, "Oh, Pokemon." I knew this thing was a water type, and I switched into Calamity, but its Hydro Pump nearly OHKO'd me. Oh my god, it fly did not. I thought this thing was grass water, not dragon water, and I lost Calamity. Oh god. And next, I switched into Basha, and whoever eventually finished it off, but next was a Flapro. And I forgot, like, its counterpart evolution from Goga's battle, it was Dragon Poison. But I stupidly set up with Quiver Dance and went for a Fiery Dance, which did nothing. And I was eventually forced to switch into Dawn, who thankfully took it out with a few Psychics. Next was Crobaria, and I was scared. I was going to lose. I may lose this. And it went for a Parasong, and I was paralyzed with Dragon Breath, so that's great. Ain't that right? So I switched into Humdura, Mega Evolved as I went for Outrage, but he switched into his Intellite and Inteleon Dragonite Fusion, who outraged one shot. Thank God. If that thing stayed there, I may have lost it. And next was Crobaria, who again went for Parasong, but outraged the Okorid as well. Thank you. And finally was his own Venagard. And here, I lost. He swept me after that, and I lost. This far, and I died. To be perfectly honest, I'm not sad one bit. This just gave me a new fire to beat a Nuzlocke. I will not give up. I'll improve. I will correct my mistakes, and I will do my best to beat a hardcore Nuzlocke at all costs. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button, smash on that like button, and comment down below what type of video you want to see next, and see you all next time.